Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie, and I'm your host for today's show. An interesting match week 25 in the Premier League. Liverpool just about edge a victory over Wolves, and Arsenal secured a win against the Foxes, and Manchester City have shown a glimpse of their old form as they thrashed Newcastle 4-0. So, what we'll do is we'll review the first game, and that is Liverpool versus Wolves. Let me just share the screen with you guys first. There we go. So, in terms of this result, well, let's backtrack a little bit to a few days ago. After a terrible result against Everton midweek, Liverpool had to find a way to regain momentum and extend their lead at the top of the table. Well, Liverpool managed to do that and just about edge a win, but it wasn't a pretty sight. In the first half, Liverpool showed a decent level of play, playing some good football and managed to break the deadlock in the 15th minute. Salah tries to control the ball on the edge of the box, which ended up being a heavy touch in the end. Totti Gomez tries to make a clearance, but ends up slicing the ball. Diaz is first to react and does enough to make contact on the ball with his hip, more or less, and ends up rolling into the back of the net for a 1-0 lead. Then Liverpool were able to extend their lead as Luis Diaz was fouled by Jose Sa in the box. For me, the right decision in terms of that foul there. Mohamed Salah steps up, takes a penalty, and hits the central of the goal to make it 2-0. And that's his 24th goal of the season. So another stat there in terms of his goals and assists this season. Now, at halftime, Liverpool had to make some substitutions. Well, it was one at first as Kwanzaa replaced Konate, who unfortunately picked up a yellow. So it would have been a very risky move to keep him on in the second half. But Wolves made some interesting subs as Bellegarde and new signing Munetsi came on. And the Wolves pretty much had a new blueprint in terms of how they wanted to play in the second half. They played a more direct football, and that definitely caused Liverpool some issues. So much so, Liverpool ended up defending more in the second half than they attacked. In fact, I don't think Liverpool managed to hit a shot on target, and Wolves managed to get themselves on some good form into that second half. But Liverpool did hit the back of the net through Mohamed Salah, but unfortunately, his goal was chalked off by VAR. Biases aside, obviously, I'm a Liverpool fan, but I think that goal should have stood as it looked to me that he was onside. I think it was Agbadu who kept him on in that defensive line. VAR barely reviewed the incident, and some say there's no corruption in the league. I beg to differ. Then there was a penalty shot for Liverpool as Jota falls to ground inside the box from Agbadu's challenge. But I have to be honest, it wasn't a foul. In real time, I thought it was, as there was contact made on Jota. But having a look at the replay, it's quite clear that Jota ends up having a trailing leg that hits Agbadu, then falls to ground. So in that regards, it shouldn't be a penalty. No penalty given in the end, and that was the right decision. I don't think Jota dived, purposely in that manner. I think he was just trying to run and maybe just lost his balance and ended up clipping the player. So I don't think he should have picked up a yellow. It was more simulation than anything else. But Wolves were knocking on the door and they finally grabbed the goal in the end. It was Cunha who cuts inside and produces a clever skill to get past Gravenberch and then hits a fantastic left-footed shot right in the bottom corner. Allison unable to make the save. Great finish from the Brazilian in the end. That's his 12th goal of the season for Wolves. Wolves were getting closer to an equaliser at the latter stages, but Kwanzaa makes a crucial block to deny a goal. Then Wolves were given 6 minutes of stoppage time, which for me was laughable, as there was barely any time wasted in the second half. Due to what happened against Everton, I think PTSD kicked in for a lot of us Liverpool fans, and it was a nervy end to the game. But thankfully, we were able to hold on and manage to secure the important win, and of course, grab the 3 points in the bag. Doesn't matter how you win these games, as long as you can continue to climb up the table and not look back, we'll all be able to arrive At our destination, that's at the top of the table. But the quest doesn't end there for Liverpool as they face Aston Villa this Wednesday as part of Matchweek 25. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the game as Villa haven't been in great form in recent weeks. But you know how it goes. Sometimes they might just turn up, especially when it involves the mighty Reds. On to the next fixture. Leicester City versus Arsenal. The Gunners managed to secure the win against the Foxes and continue to apply pressure on Liverpool. Despite the lack of attackers in the team, Arsenal were able to find a talisman in Mika Marino, who scored both of the goals. The first goal, great cross from Nweri, who throws one towards the near post, and Marino nods the ball into the back of the net. Then the second goal, Trossard with the low cross from the left wing, finds a free Mika Marino in the box, who taps it in from close range to secure the win for the Gunners. And despite their injury woes to their attackers, Arsenal continue to chase the leaders, but the point gap is still 7 points. On to the next fixture. And a surprising result as Man City thump a Newcastle team that has been in great form in recent weeks. But it looks like there's a new star at Man City as new signing. Omar Mamouche claims a hat trick in the game. He opens the scoreline as he turns Trippier and lifts the ball above Dubravka's head to make it 1-0. Great finish from the Egyptian. The second goal, Gundogan threads the through ball to Mamouche. He cuts inside and hits a snapshot that took Dubravka by surprise. 2-0 to Man City. Then the Egyptian striker was able to secure his hat trick just before halftime as Savinho cuts back a pass from the right hand side, finds Mamouche in the middle of the box, who smashes it towards the middle of the goal and to make it 3-0 as he points three fingers to the crowd. In the second half, McAtee gets a late goal, scoring from close range to make it 4-0 for Man City. Now, they've certainly turned a leaf in recent weeks. 3 wins in the last 5 games, and they've now moved up to fourth in the league. But it doesn't get bigger in the next fixture as they face Liverpool this Sunday. Next fixture, Tottenham versus Manchester United. The El Clapico, as it's been referred to online, took place over the weekend. Both teams have been struggling with form as they continue to drop towards the basement of the table, and that is the relegation zone. The game was definitely not a spectacle by any stretch of the imagination, and it took one goal to separate both teams. And it was Madison who had the last laugh. Bergwijn with the initial shot that was parried away by Onana. No surprise as he doesn't produce the best of saves and only parries it away as far as Madison, who pretty much slots it in from close range and ends up doing his cheeky darts celebration to rattle the Manchester United fans. But Spurs managed to claim the victory and move up to 12th in the league, whereas Manchester United have now dropped to 15th in the table. Things aren't going to plan for Amorim. The team aren't playing to his orders, or the crop of players are just not good enough. For me, it's probably a bit of both. But some fans are already sick and tired of Amorim, and I even suggested that he should be dismissed sooner rather than later. I said it when Amorim was appointed. This season has to be regarded as a write-off, and the summer is where the rebuild should occur, and Amorim should be able to be given the funds to sign the players who he believes will fit his style of play and his philosophy. But at this stage, they probably need to make sure that they stay in the league, as you know they're quite close to that relegation zone now. If they were to get relegated, that would be absolutely crazy. Even to say out loud is a bit wild, but it's not too far off the reality. Things need to improve for United, and they need to find a win somehow, some way, in order to climb up the table. Next fixture, Brighton versus Chelsea. What result for the Seagulls as they thrashed Chelsea 3-0 at the Amex Stadium. So let's review the key moments of the game. Mitoma opens the scoreline with a nice guided finish in the bottom corner. Minte then makes it 2-0 with a close range finish, but it wasn't an easy finish as there was a crowd of Chelsea players on the goal line. Minte then grabs his second goal of the game, scoring from a tight angle to help secure a great win against the Blues. Brighton remain in 10th place but Chelsea have dropped down to 6th in the league. Now, in other fixtures, this is one of the big games of the week as well, involving Fulham versus Forest. Back-to-back wins for Fulham as they secured a victory against the informed Nottingham Forest. The first goal, what an assist from Adama Traore, who curls in a left-footed cross from the right wing to find Emil Smith-Rowe, who heads it from close range to take the lead. Forest then grabbed the equaliser as Chris Woods holds off two the Fulham defenders, makes a turn, and places his shot towards the corner. Fortunately, it was deflected by Bassi, so unlucky for the defender there. However, he was able to save the day for Fulham and reclaim the lead with a pinpoint header, and that was, of course, resulted to a win for Fulham. So, what a great win for the Cottagers, and that win actually helps them move up the table to 8th in the league. Next fixture, Aston Villa versus Ipswich Town. Despite being down to 10 men, Ipswich Town managed to secure a point against Villa. But the funny thing was, Ipswich actually took the lead as Liam Delap produces an exquisite flick from Hutchinson's cross to find the corner and take the lead. But then, unfortunately, that lead only lasted for 13 minutes as Villa got the equaliser. Rashford hits the crossbar from a direct free kick, and Ollie Watkins was the first player to react and score from the rebound to make it 1-1. And that was the final whistle. A valuable point for Ipswich, even though they did take the lead. I think they should still be pleased that they got something out of the game against a Villa team that might not be performing to their capability, but they do have plenty of talent that can change the game with a click of a finger. Next fixture, Southampton versus Bournemouth. The Battle of the South Coast ended in victory for the Cherries, who won 3-1. Otara opens the scoreline for Bournemouth with a header. Great cross from Kirkes. And to fair, this new role that Kirkes has, unfortunately not Kirkes, Otara has um, sort of stumbled upon that actually suits his skill set. So it might be a new position, it might be his true position going forward. Christie then makes it 2-0 with a left-footed finish from outside the box. Suleimana grabs one back for Southampton with a lethal left-footed finish. But Tavernier scores the final goal of the game with a thumping left-footed finish to make it 3-1. A great win for Bournemouth, who now move up to 5th in the table. They're doing unbelievable things right now. Next fixture, West Ham versus Brentford. Brentford managed to secure the win away from home against West Ham, and to be fair, it didn't take too long, 4 minutes to be exact, as Sade has his initial shot saved by Ariola, but then he was able to get a second bite with a follow-up shot. At that time, it wasn't clear if the ball had gone past the line, but after the referee and the VAR referees or officials reviewed the incident, it was quite clear that that was a goal and ended up being the winner for this game. A scrappy goal, but hey, I don't think Sade and or Brentford could care less. They've added 3 points to the bag and can now put their focus on the next game, which is against Leicester City. And the final fixture of Matchweek 25, and that is Crystal Palace versus Everton. Palace were unable to secure the win as Everton scrapped through a 2-1 victory. Everton took the lead through a better finish. Then in the second half, Mateta gets the equaliser with a close range finish. But Alcaraz grabs the winner with a side-footed finish in the 80th minute to claim all 3 points for the Toffees. And that is the end of the result. And that is also the end of Matchweek 25 result. Fortunately, I'm not able to present the FPL Manager of the Week for Matchweek 25 as it's not concluded. We do have one final fixture, which is between Aston Villa and Liverpool that takes place on Wednesday. So in the next show, hopefully I'll announce who the Matchweek 25 winner is. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. In terms of upcoming shows, I will have a match preview of that game that I just mentioned, Aston Villa versus Liverpool. So that preview will take place tomorrow evening around 10 p.m. UK time, or possibly 11 p.m. I normally do my shows a bit later now. So 11 p.m. UK time. And then I'll be doing a live watch of that fixture. as well as a match reaction show. And then on Thursday, we'll have a match preview of Man City versus Liverpool, the big game that's taking place this weekend. So lots of content coming your way. So please make sure you hit that notification bell. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're listening to me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, please make sure to follow the channel as well. So that is it for today, guys. Thank you for listening or watching. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to speak with you all very, very soon. Goodbye.